Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle. You have reached my Flosstube channel, Farm Girl, and I'm going to be talking all sorts of cross stitch today. Maybe a little quilting if I get to the end. It's all haul. It's not. I haven't been actually doing any quilting, but I have a ton of stuff to show you. I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right in. You can see I have stuff back here. I have tons and tons of stuff. So let's start right away with finishes. So I had, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen some of these, but I have lots of good stuff to show you too. So my first project that I worked on was, and this is a new market release, and they're kits. So they're kind of limited, I believe, on how many are out there. I could be totally lying about that. I know that it's like a market. No, I don't. I don't know anything. This came from market. That's all I'm going to say. And it was a kit, and it came with the fabric, floss and everything is in here as well. And there's little ribbon with a couple beads in there as well. I have not read the instructions. I'm hoping, I was going to do it today, but I didn't get around to it. So I'm hoping that I get it finished tomorrow. So there it is. It's called Rose Bouquet Kit, and it's by Samplers Not Forgotten. They did one last year as well. What was it? Oh, it was the flower from the Summer Garden, English Garden. Why can I never get that right? So I got that one last year as well. They have one more. It's a bird, and I haven't gotten it yet. I'm kind of on a spending freeze due to current events right now. But so here is my finish. So I got it. It's full coverage, but it's little. It's little, so you can it's totally doable. It's stitched on it looks like a 30. I think it was a 36 count. It looks like it's a cream. Or maybe I don't think it's a platinum. It's either ivory or cream. And one thread, or one strand over two threads. So typical 36. I was kind of wondering how it was going to look. If it was going to be enough coverage for me. And I do think it looks nice. The colors are really pretty. It looks very Victorian. So I can't wait to get that finished into the little pillow. I did read the instructions, and the instructions are very good and clear, so I shouldn't have any problems there. So hopefully I'll get working on that tomorrow. Next, I have another finish, but this one is an FFO, and I did film a tutorial on how I finished everything and how I mounted it, and I just went to go edit it, and it seems there's a big chunk missing of where I laced the piece on. I don't know if my camera wasn't on, so I don't know if I can fudge that or not. I'm gonna take a look at it and see if I can post it. But the finish is Baltimore Salt Box. It's with Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And this is also a new market release. And my patterns are, I don't make copies because I don't sell my charts, and I hate wasting paper just to make a working copy. And this does not require a working copy. So it was sitting on my bed, and I have Henry, so it gets ripped and stepped on, and but it's just for me, so it's fine. And I probably never stitch it again, but I'll keep it. So I bought the box. Everybody always asks me where I got the box. The box will be available. It says right in the pattern that it will be available on. So here's the supply list right here. Asterisk wooden sewing box. It will be available on countrystitchesonline.com. She has not posted her market stuff yet, but that's what the pattern says. So it'll be available. Just keep checking back. And I'm sure she'll have it. I'm pretty sure as a courtesy, she gives the shops that attended market kind of a 30-day grace period before she posts her own new releases on her website. I think that's kind of a common courtesy that a lot of designers who have shops do. Here's my finish. I'm going to show you that. And so I just painted my box, and that's what I showed in my tutorial. I showed how I, is that scratched? Oh, it's a hair. I showed how I painted the box, distressed it, waxed it, and then mounted my piece in here. So I'm hoping I can recover it. I was just looking at the directions. Brenda mounted a piece of paper in the bottom of hers. Here's the picture. So she put some paper in the bottom of hers. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I haven't done it yet, but you may notice that I did a bit of a color conversion. I went to the Stitchery Nook in Iowa and had a great time there. Met up with some friends, and while I was there, I kitted up Souvenirs of the Heart Star Spangled Spectacular, also a new market release. It's so cute. And I loved the colors in this. And I kitted it up, and there were quite a few colors that it required. So there's the list of the colors that required. So I wasn't going to, I mean, they're patriotic pieces. So I just used the threads from that to stitch this piece. The only thing, I don't know what I used. I wanted a really dark brown for the roof, and so it is a it's a Gentle Arts. It's one of the limited edition threads, and I did run out of it, and so I substituted just an, oh, and all these doors and windows. It's actually a different color than the roof, and I substituted Picnic Basket. So if you like this conversion, it's just pretty basic colors. It's got two different, or it's actually got three different color of blues in it. I used the really dark blue and the flag. But you can just pull and kind of put it where you want. There's a couple different greens in there. There's a tan. Some of them I used, some of them I didn't use, but I'm going to keep those together for the Star Spangled Spectacular. But I loved it. So I did stitch it on a 28 count Lugana, and it's stitched 1/1. You can see how tiny those stitches are. People get really nervous about stitching 1/1, but look at the holes. See how easily you can see the holes? If you're stitching regularly on a 32 count or a 36 count, you can absolutely do this. I'm not sure why people think that they can't see it. I mean, if you're cross stitching on 32 or 36, I mean, this is a bigger count. So, but people think that they can't, but you can. It's just stitched over one, and it's easy. And it's fun, and it's so satisfying to stitch something, and it's so teeny tiny. I understand why Jean Lee from the Attic likes to stitch these tiny little stitches. I just can't do it on a 56 count because that I could not see the holes. But this was super fun. I really enjoyed it. Just another hit for me. And because I'm stitching and I'm just loving the teeny tiny stitches, I went ahead and continued on with another market release, and this is Token of Love, Brenna Gervais. Again, my pattern is ripped in because it was sitting on the bed. It's super pretty. It does not require a lot of floss at all, 6 colors. The one thing I will mention is, and I don't know if it's a dye lot thing or what, but my 2 blues seem to be reversed. It doesn't matter in the pattern, but I just noticed when I was stitching this motif up here, so you'll see the outside of mine is lighter, and then this inside motif here is darker. But and I've just been kind of looking at the picture and seeing what I like and then choosing a blue for it. The blues are so pretty. So that's it. This is deceptively large. It finishes to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8. So if you're stitching this over 2 on a 28 count, that would be the equivalent of a 12 by 18 piece. So it's not a small sampler, not at all. It's, it's actually 4 pages. The last 2 pages are the bottom half. So it's kind of broken up like this. So this, oh, I'm backwards here. Okay, so this to here is page 1. This is page 2, page 3 here, and page 4. So the last 2 pages, you know, are smaller, but it's a lot of stitching. I'm not going to lie. This is almost, so this is like page 1. I did a little bit into the bottom page just to finish this motif, but essentially this is what it is. I don't have the center motif finished yet, and I'm working on filling this in here, but look at those teeny tiny stitches. I love the variegation. This is Schneckly, and so you can see where my colors are reversed, so just pay attention to that. I did use and then I just started looking, and so I used the lighter color in the center there, and then I followed what was here for the tree. But look at that variegation in there. It's just beautiful. This has been so enjoyable to stitch. Brenda created this as a like a commemorative piece for her 40th wedding anniversary. So her and David's initials are in here. I'm putting Gary in mine. They were married in 1980. Gary and I were married in 1998. So there's his initials, and then mine will go on the other side. It's just so sweet. I love this. So this is what I'm going to stitch on tonight. I'm for sure going to finish this motif. And then this is the box with the 3 drawers. I mean, can you believe that it's that much stitching? I love it. But I'm currently painting my boxes. Because of the pandemic, and I don't know about your state, but my state is completely shut down. Like, we can't even leave our houses. We're kind of locked in. They've closed all businesses, and so we can't, I mean, even if I went somewhere, I mean, like Michael's and stuff isn't open because it's not considered an essential business. It should be. But alas, it's not, and they didn't consult me first, so I guess I'm stuck with the paints that I have on hand. So I actually really love the blues in here. And this may seem really ungodly bright, but I'm going to be toning this down with antiquing wax. And I can show you the waxing. Let me just give you an example. This is what my box looked like before I waxed it. And this is what it looks like after. So you can see that antiquing it really tones it, really will tone it down. So I'm going to be putting like a dark wax over this. I've never used this before, and I don't think it's available anymore. It's Martha Stewart Tintable Antique Effect. It's just a glaze. That's all it is. It's a tintable glaze. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to tint it with like some dark brown and try it. What can hurt? If it doesn't work, I'll just have to wait till the pandemic is over and get more paint and repaint it. And I actually didn't even have enough to paint the bottoms yet, so we'll see. And then I had to use a different color to paint the insides. It's a little bit more aqua-y. But so this is my box. It actually, when you buy it, it looks like this. And I just bought mine. Mine came from Amazon. Brenda will have them in the store soon. She'll be selling them on her website, countrystitchesonline.com. So very clever. This is how it comes. It's how it's meant to, you know, sit like this. But Brenda flipped it. And then you just turn your drawers over, and then the stitching piece gets mounted in the top. which is why I didn't care if I painted it a different color. So I've got to touch it up a little bit, and then I'm going to do the antiquing, and that will be super fun to have that mounted in there. Okay, and then I had some really sweet stitchy kindness this month, this week, and so Becky Nolan, the designer of Lucy Beam Threads, she's on Instagram as Lucy Beam Threads. She had some super cute market releases, and one of them is a little pair of scissors, and it says, "I will cut you." And I left the pattern downstairs. I was pulling some floss for it, so I'll insert a picture here. Totally want to stitch that. And I told her jokingly, it was on Instagram when I just told her that I used to say that to my kids. If they messed up the kitchen, I will cut you. So she was so nice, and she sent me the chart, and then she sent me this awesome project bag. How cute is that? It's got all these little scissors on it, and it's got this cute kind of seam binding ribbon and a big button. It's really adorable. And it says Lucy Beam Project Bag. How sweet is that? And then she put a little pair of scissors. So thank you so much, Becky. That was so sweet. So I'm hoping that will be a finish, my next video. I'm going to hang that in my office. I know exactly how I'm going to finish it. I'm thinking I might move it around just a little bit and put the scissors under it and have it more elongated. We'll see. But thank you so much, Becky. That was so sweet. That totally made my day. So now I'm going to show you all my whips, and I have a new start as well. Well, I've had quite a few new starts. Okay, the next I did a little bit more work. So you've seen this one before. This is LW Motif Sampler. It's very pretty. And I got quite a bit more done on this. So I got the alphabet from here all the way over, and then all these motifs, the pink numbers, and then I finished this motif here. So that was a lot in one day. And I don't know why this one cannot hold my attention. Oh, I also got these letters in there. But so it is very, very pretty. I'm just struggling. I think samplers without a house are hard for me. I really like the house part. And if I have a sampler that I'm stitching that has a house in it, I mean, I will race to get to the house and then like burn through it. The thread colors are beautiful. They're so super pretty. Really beautiful kind of jewelry tones. Loving it. Love that. I feel like I could stitch on it. If I just gave it like 2 more solid evenings of stitching, I could probably finish it. My next one was another market purchase. It was another kit. It is Blue Flower Drum Kit by La-Dee-Da. It comes with the little piece of wool to finish the top. And it was a kit, so it came with the threads. And then there's my progress. So I'm about halfway done. So the fabric you get for this is this long. I know not everybody reads the directions, so I'm going to tell you, if you get this kit, do not start in the middle, because you're supposed to use this, the last part of it. This is as far as it goes. That's as long as it will be. And you're supposed to use this leftover fabric for doing the bottom of the drum. And then the little piece of wool felt is used for the top. But aren't those threads? They're so pretty. What a pretty muted palette. I love these muted palettes, but they can be kind of tiresome to stitch with. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Beautiful though. And it's going to be, I mean, look at how much better this is than the picture, right? The picture just never does it justice. But look at that, those pretty colors. It's gorgeous. Oh, it is stunning. So that would also, you know, another evening or two, and that one will be definitely done. There's not much to it. The alphabet goes really fast because they're spaced just a block or two apart. And as long as I don't have to carry more than 2 blocks, I will carry my thread. So that I'm not rethreading my needle and starting and stopping all the time. Then next, I gave Harriet a little bit more love. Ooh. I don't know why this has been so difficult for me. If it's maybe because I was watching TV or whatever while I've been trying to stitch this, but I just make mistake after mistake after mistake. So she's in timeout for a little bit. I am burning through the endive like mad. I love the weight to this because it's stitched with 2 strands. It is, it's so weighty and I just love it. It feels to me like an antique. It's just cool. But you can feel the thread. So I've gotten, the reds are just so pretty. This thing just pops. This really appeals to me. So I don't, it's so frustrating that I'm having so much trouble. I'm not minding the eyelet alphabet at all. I just think it's so pretty. I even like how that white just stands out there. I got a ton of advice about my eyelets. I like my eyelets the way they are. If you don't like them, I'm sorry, but I don't particularly like having them really super wide open. And this, I physically cannot get them any bigger because I'm stitching with 2 strands on a 32 count and it's chunky. So without, I mean, I think they're fine. But I did get a lot of opinions about that. So my last video, but I love the muted colors. I think I mentioned before that this is like, to me, it's almost an exact replica of the antique. It's very impressive. Pretty cool. So I've been really, really enjoying this. And I mean, I'm almost done with it. There's actually a fair amount. And there is an error in the border, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but nothing major. I should be able to fit everything in, no problem. Love this. So I know some of you are stitching along with me because I follow the hashtag Harriet Elizabeth Co-Sal on Instagram. And then here are the threads for that. Blue is my favorite color, like these kind of Stelian sea blues. Pretty, pretty. If you are doing 32 count and doing over 2 threads like I am, you'll probably want to snag these double skeins, the 10-yard skeins of Gentle Arts, because you'll run out of the endive and the pomegranate for sure. But yeah, so that's lovely. This also, a lot of people who always think that it's a discontinued chart because it can be hard to find. It's only hard to find because we have a sale going on in Brenda's shop. Because I started the sale right before Christmas, and then when her shop came back on kind of towards the end of January, I'm sure shops were ordering it, but then Market came, and I know she's got them on her website, so you can order directly from her, or you can order from your LNS, and they can order from Brenda and get it for you. It is not a discontinued chart. So I've had a lot of people tell me that it's been really difficult to get the chart, and it just may be that your store is out of it. Last I heard, I bought mine, well, I bought one from Brenda, and I think I told you my dilemma with that I had a package get lost in the mail from, and so the first one I ordered was from the attic, and then I reordered it, and then my package showed up, it was delivered to a neighbor who was out of town for a couple weeks, so I ended up getting it. But I originally bought mine from the attic, and they pulled all the threads for me. The nice thing is when you do that is if they're missing a thread, they can sub something for you that they know those threads inside and out, so they can pick a really good match for you so that you're not waiting around for thread. And they'll work with you on fabric, and they're fantastic. So give them a call. Unless I heard, I believe that they had ordered more charts and we're trying to get more copies of that in. Then my last new start was Martha Pudsey, and this is by the Scarlet House. I'm going to ruin this for some of you. I always think of this as a Christmas sampler because I think the border looks like Christmas bulbs and the little leaves here look like the plug-in. You're welcome. You will never unsee that now. But I love this sampler. It's so sweet. I've seen so many people stitching it, and I love it. I know Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, she stitched it on, I believe it's a Vintage Autumn Gold, which is like a double dyed lakeside linen. It can be very difficult to find, and I wasn't able to find it, and I wanted to see it in person. So while I was at the Stitchery Nook, this was a couple visits ago, I ended up kitting it up on a piece of, this is a 36 count. Picture this plus, I believe it's Oaken. I'm pretty sure it is. And let me see if I can figure out, it doesn't really matter which way it goes because all I have done is the border. And I'm just doing, I got the first outline of the border, and then there's 2 more rows. I made a mistake while I was chatting with some friends on a group video chat, and I was doing these leaves, and I didn't switch my color from the inside to the leaves. I just like kept going, and it was actually the wrong color. They're supposed to be like this gold color here, and I am gonna frog it because I don't like it. I like the lighter gold. But I did all 48 of them on the outside in the wrong color. So I'll probably just kind of frog them as I go. It doesn't take long. It didn't really take me that long to do this border. I mean, I did it, I think we were chatting for a couple hours, maybe 2 hours. And I did the majority of them while chatting away, just not paying attention. So I'll get back to that one soon. I am loving the fabric choice. Oh, and here are all the threads. And I'm stitching it in the silks. So the called for silks are NPIs, and they are pretty luxurious. Pretty colors. And they look really nice on the fabric. They all pop really nicely. Everything just looks really great. And these fabrics the threads are pretty nice to work with. I wasn't sure how I felt about them. I had to switch and go to a different project with cottons and then come back to these to be able to appreciate it. Okay, so that was Martha. Ow, I just got poked. My needle's sticking out. Okay, so I think my last video I showed this G Leger sampler by Reflets de Soie. And stunning. I kitted it all up in silks. It's a lot of silk. And then I wasn't feeling, because some of them are very bright. And these are Soie d'Alger's. They're beautiful, but there's no variegation in these. So it's like DMC. They're solid. And the silks are beautiful. They're very nice, beautiful color palette. But look at how bright that is. And what I'm really looking for is kind of an old grungy version like this. And I have a beautiful fabric that I chose, which was this beautiful Chantilly Cream by Lakeside Linen, 36 count. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm just not feeling it. Just not feeling it. I did give it a good start in the old college try. And the called for colors. Now this is this border up here. And Michelle the Striped Rose just showed her progress on her latest video. And hers was beautiful. Like her, I think she did like cranberry something for this. And it's really pretty. And I'm looking for more soft muted colors like that. This is what the called for is. So I'm pretty sure it's all in French. It's, it doesn't really specify if it was charted from the back, brighter colors of the sampler, so made to look more like how it would be when it was originally stitched, or if it was charted to make it look by the antique. So look, it could just be the choice of floss, of threads that I chose, because the Soie d'Alger it's not variegated, right? It's not variegated, but it is very dark. And when I compare it to Weathered Barn, which is the, so there's 3 different versions on here. There's a Gloriana silk, there's the Soie d'Alger, and then there is the Gentle Arts versions. And I do think that I pulled some of the overdyes. I mean, I just threw them in here. Started pulling things that I thought would be pretty. And you can see, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's okay, but I just like the variegation. So these are the 2 versions, the Soie d'Alger version and the Gentle Arts version of the called for colors. So I guess I can see how that would be interpreted. Okay, but I really like this. I like how old that looks. I'm not digging that rich version. So it's going to be a pretty pricey decision, because I do have all of these silks. But wait, there's more, because these, I wasn't loving these, and I knew some of the colors were going to be too bright for me. So I bought these as alternatives in case I didn't care. What's going on here? What's going on? Oh, in case I didn't care for, so this was one of my substitutes. And this actually could be a great substitute for that too, but I'm thinking I really like the variegation in there. I don't know. The other thing, and Gary agrees with me. I mean, I don't take cross-stitch advice from Gary, but I may on this one because he was feeling it. And he said I should use an overdyed fabric. I don't think this was a vintage. No. It's not a vintage, so there's no modeling. It's pretty solid color, which it is a beautiful fabric. While I was at the Stitchery Nook, they brought back some Fabby from Color and Cotton. So I snagged a few, and this is, okay, so this is Color and Cotton light brown sugar. Let me take them out of the bag. They're all just fantastic sampler colors. Really, really pretty modeling. Isn't that beautiful? So that's light brown sugar, but really pretty. And then I have, this is Havana, not to be confused with Weeks Dye Works Havana, which is, I think it's more goldy, and this one is not. And this actually isn't too far from this. They're pretty similar. This has a little bit more green in it. This has, I don't know, a little bit more gray maybe. Same. I also grabbed this color, which after I looked at it, I was like, oh, those are the same color. So just the nature of hand dyed. This is also a Havana. So I'm actually really liking this Havana for this project. It still has the kind of pinky tone that I was after. I mean, not next to this, it doesn't seem to. But it does, I mean, this makes it look really pink. It has the modeling I like. And I think it will be, I think that'll be a good choice. So I'm going to restart it on that. I don't know why I'm just struggling with this so much. It's making me crazy. So we'll try that, see how it goes. And I am going to do my due diligence because I tell you what, I struggle to keep track when I make changes to charts. And this one is definitely going to be one that I'm going to be making changes and pulling threads as I go. And for the love of everything good and holy, I need to write it down because I'm really bad about writing it down. I mean, it's a shame because those are really, really pretty. They're just so bright. I mean, I feel like this, I don't know. I have someone who shared her conversion with me as well. Michelle kind of talked about that. And I am going to be using that as a guide as well, just kind of pulling as I go, I guess. But I do have a good start on some of the colors that I'll be using. And I might throw a silk in there every now and then. I don't have any problem mixing cottons and silks and doing whatever I want. So here's some of the threads I've pulled for it. Much more my style, I think. And I'm going to be a lot happier with that. I believe, let's see, who's doing this? Lori has it kitted up, and I'm not sure if she started Mischievous Stitches. And Christy from Crosshatch Quilts. Pretty sure that's right. On Instagram and YouTube. Michelle at the Striped Rose, 1L. Michelle with 1L. And I think, I don't know. I'm sure some other people are doing it with us as well. By all means, join in. If you post pictures, let's just post pictures under G Ledger, G-L-E-G-E-R, Sal. And then we can all kind of motivate each other. And if you're doing any conversions, that would be a great place for us to kind of pool together and use all of our resources. Mainly let me copy you. That would be great, friends. Thank you. So, obviously, I've had some Stitchers ADD. I think that's pretty apparent. Okay, and then you may remember I had some significant market haul last video. And the way that I was sitting, my hip is like killing me. I'm like a little old lady. I hit Stitchville and I hit the Stitchery Nook for some more goodies. I really have not bought anything in the past weeks. Like Amazon, FedEx, nor UPS has been here in weeks. I'm surprised I haven't checked in to make sure that I'm doing okay, and it's very unusual for there not to be some kind of delivery. I mean, at least 3 times a week, 2-3 times a week. But, you know, my husband is one of those who is not an essential employee, and they have now laid off like 90% of their workforce. So we're just hoping he has a job. So what I did, so everything that I bought was from weeks ago, and I haven't purchased anything, and I won't be purchasing anything for quite a while. But so when I mentioned the Stitchery Nook, they brought back the fabric from Color and Cotton. They also cleaned out, I guess she's got kind of a bin there that if she has colors of threads that don't dye quite right and the dye lots aren't quite right, she doesn't sell them as that dye lot. I mean, what a concept, right? Don't we wish all dyers would do that? So she's kind of bundles them together and makes these kind of oops packs and sells them at a reduced price. And God bless the Stitchery Nook. They pretty much cleaned her out, and they brought back a ton of them. I have another set, and I cannot for the life of me find it, but these were some really pretty neutrals. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. Any of these pinks here, which I don't know what they are, but they'd be great. And I don't really want to tell you because they're oops packs, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Let's see. Oh, they're not even marked. How do you like that? Not even marked, so I can't tell you. That's probably for the best. And it says, Color and Cotton Mystery Grab Bag. The labels on these threads are not correct. Please disregard the name attached to the floss. These threads will not match our regular thread colors. Good to know. So at Stitchville, I managed to snag the third in the berry. This is the berry basket. There were two other little pin discs here. Just to note, because I noticed when I pulled out, when I pulled this pattern out, I did notice that they all come with the tags. There's two of them there. They all come with that and the seam binding ribbon. So it's stuck in between your pattern here, just FYI. And all three of mine had it, even though I bought them from two different shops. Okay, and then I got Harrietta and, what is this? Stickers on it. Harrietta and Company. I picked that up at Stitchville. I don't typically stitch like Eastery stuff. It's a busy time of year for me, and I mean, I'm still putting away my Christmas stuff half the time by the time Easter is over because kidding season. So I don't typically decorate for spring, really. I go right from Christmas to 4th of July and patriotic stuff because it's such chaotic time. But this one, it was super cute, and I had to stitch it. I saw Jennifer from Purple Stitcher on Instagram. She stitched it. You'll have to go check out her finish. It's so cute. She put little whiskers on her bunny basket too. So I've seen it stitched a few times, and it's so cute. Then I picked up these two from Stitchville. They were out of the berry ones, which was the Heartstring Samplery and Scarlet House berry baskets. Those were so funny. This is Plum Street and Heartstring Samplery, and both really sweet little pin cushions that I just thought were adorable. Needle Bling Design. So this is Theresa Curry. She's kind of local to here. I don't know if they live in Minnesota or in Wisconsin. They live right on the river, so you go back and forth almost daily when you kind of live in that area. But these are so cute. So this drum, which I just love that. The drum is so awesome. And let me see what this is called. Americana Drum Pin Keep. And then this one, I love this one. Stitching Makes Me Happy. And it's a cute little tomato pin cushion. Look at that. And it's got the little berry. It's adorable. Adorable. And then next I got, so this came, I think the rest of this came from, or these next few came from the Stitchery Nook. So I think I bought a bunch of floss there as well, and I kitted up a few things that I already had purchased. This is the Scarlet House. Mary Kemp, 1862. Look at that pheasant. That is so cool. And I love the trees. Love this. Then Chessie and Me. Love, love, love this. It's a little needle book, and it is called Miss Nettie's Needle Usefuls. It's so cute. Look at the little pin cushion. So there's a cat sitting on a spool. There's a little pair of scissors and this needle book. Love that. And I love, Linda always puts a picture of the inside as well in the pattern. So that's so sweet. And then I got Liberty Hill Farm. It's a drum. Okay, so you can see kind of a picture. And then on the back is the other pin keep. This smaller pin keep right here. That's pictured here in its full glory. Okay, just going to give you... That's a lot of stitching. There's a lot of stitching. It's so pretty though. All right, that's going to take a while. Okay, and then next is my order from Shakespeare's Peddler. First, Theresa, I don't think I ordered these. I think Theresa just included them. They're her note cards, which I just think are so beautiful. Perfect for stitchers. I'm pretty sure these are exclusive to her shop. Oh, of course it is. Look at Jenny Bean. Love those. Those are pretty. Okay, then I got the La-Dee-Da little summer sampler. So pretty. I love the muted colors. I don't know why I love these so much because I don't enjoy stitching like muted colors. But it's so pretty. And you know how amazing that'll be when it's actually stitched up. Okay, then I got Sewing Club. I have heard and seen so many complaints online about the smell of the book. And I'll be honest, when I got mine was pretty potent too. But I've just had it sitting out and it's fine. But I have seen a lot of people and their comments about the book. So just leave them air out somewhere and shouldn't really be an issue. It's a beautiful book. It is worth every penny. I think it has something to do with the type of book that it is, that it's actual ink and it's just the smell of fresh ink. And probably they came right off the printer, got put into boxes and shipped out, and they just need a little air. It is an incredibly well-made. It's so distracting because there's so many beautiful things. I think this was like $32. It may have, is it $30? I don't remember. Maybe it was somewhere between 30 and 35, and there are 16 projects in here. Okay, so we got this at Stitch Camp last year at a retreat that I went to with Blackbird. This was also part of our kit, and then there was a button bag. I mean, okay, Rose Hips and Ivy. I have been waiting for this one for so long. I'm pretty sure this was a Dying to Stitch club kit, and I tried to snag one and I couldn't find it. So I'm super excited for this to finally be available because it is beautiful. Beautiful. Here's another little drum in my garden. I love how kind of primitive these are. So there's quite a few drums in here. Oh, and here you can even just stitch that as, that's just not made into a drum. It's just a cute little sampler. Here's the project that we got at Country Sampler. It's so sweet. That one is stitched 1/1 on a 28 count. Oh, here's a good picture. So pretty. I have that kitted up. Why have I not stitched that? Oh, and then here's the button bag that we got. So Deb, who I went to stitch camp with, she stitched them all. And they are beautiful. And the fabric that we got from for the inside of that is just beautiful. I cannot wait to get that. And then Barb had it like all filled up with vintage buttons, and it was just so sweet. I loved it. Loved it. Oh, I love everything in here. This Hollyhocks Were Always There housewife. What? Look at that. It's like a needle roll on the bottom. Do you see that? So pretty. Look at it all set together. Oh. I'm going to show you this book, everything in this book, and you're going to have to get it because you're going to love it. So pretty. Look at the inside. Look at the stitching there. Oh, are you crazy? You must be crazy if you don't have this. Garden Friends sewing bag. Look at all these. Ooh, I smell a box to paint. Okay, another. That's pretty. I wonder how big that is. So sweet. The pin cushion. Oh, I love this. That is so pretty. I don't know what's going on downstairs. I'm sorry if you can hear that. That is lovely. Pretty little sampler. Looks like it's mounted on a box. Another drum. Ooh, it's got a house. Okay, and then another little box and drum. And then I think there's one more. I mean, this is a lot of stuff. That is so pretty. That would be really pretty as a drum as well. It would be a big drum. But boy, is that pretty. So you guys, there is just so much good stuff. Oh, and then there's... Oh, and then one more drum. You need this. How can you not have it? Okay, so that was my order from Kit and Stitcher. Actually, this is the beginning of my order. That's so fabulous. Okay, then Letitia Jane Andrews, 1836 by Queenstown Sampler Designs. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the blue house, and look at the crazy sheep with tails. Are they sheep? I'm sure they're sheep. Or I don't think they're dogs. Maybe they're dogs. Maybe they're Maremma. Okay, and then of course, Andale was re-released. So I always kicked myself for not having a copy of it. Will I ever stitch it? Maybe not. But it's really fun to just pull it out and look at the pictures. And there is a DMC and an NPI conversion, but I'm stunning. Okay, are you ready for the stitch count? 402 by 531. It's essentially a HAID. If you stitch it on a 40 count, it will be 20 by 26.5 inches. If you stitched it on a 28 count, it would be 28 3/4 by 38 inches. Just to give you a little perspective. It just doesn't look that big. Maybe I'll stitch it. What if I stitched it on, listen to me, like I'm really going to finish it, on a 28 count? over 1. It just doesn't. It's so deceiving because it doesn't look that big. I don't think it looks that big. It is absolutely stunning. I am just happy to own it. And it was stitched on a 40 count vintage pear. I can see that. It's a stunner. Stunner. I'm going to show you my my quilt haul, because I know that there will be some of you out there that will really appreciate seeing it. I forgot one little thing. Okay, so I got this quilt kit in the mail as well. It's a Moda pre-cut. It's by 3 Sisters, Rue 1800. I'm not sure how readily available this. You're not going to find a ton of these, but you may find it if it interests you. It's absolutely stunning. So here's a picture of the quilt. It's not a big one either. And then that's the fabric line. And this is the direction booklet. And it comes with all the yardage. I mean, look at that. The colors are just gorgeous. Right up my alley. They are beautiful florals. And look at that. Aren't the colors yummy? And it's got these pretty aqua blues, which I love those, with the pink. Yes, yes. Oh, yes. Yep, so I'm really looking forward to this one as well. And, you know, all those friends that we have that always think that we stash too much. Well, who's laughing now? Keep stashing. Okay, and then, almost forgot because it's sitting behind me. I have a bunch of beautiful gifts from Sally, who is the Humble Bumble Stitcher on Instagram, and then she has a website, thehumblebumblestitcher.com, and she always sends beautiful gifts for the retreat as to use as giveaways and door prizes, and these are going to be for the raffle table, and she is over the top generous. And then she sent some things for me too, so I wanted to make sure that I showed these to you. First, she makes the most beautiful primitive dolls. I have several. I love them, love them, love them. I've really wanted an Uncle Sam for quite a while. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Look at that beard. I mean, he's just so sweet. And look at his coat. So he's just handsome. Love that. And thank you so much, Sally. It's almost too much. It's so amazing. So I want to give you kind of, actually, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to insert the pictures I posted on Instagram because it's a little bit easier to show. So this is the tray that she gave me, and I'm just going to go quickly through it here. So there's this sweet little Ort jar. I love this jar. It's amazing. And it's got this sweet little charm on it. And there's a thread keep, and she stitched and put this little needle on there. It's so cute. And then there's all these little charms on there as well. I mean, they're just fantastic. This little hanging here. Lady Liberty. How sweet is that? And these are all just pins stuck in there. This little Scotty dog. Oh, it's so cute. And how amazing is this? Look at that. Her finishing is just exquisite, as always. I think this is probably my favorite. This is the hen from Plum Street Samplers, the stacks. And she even included buttons. Aren't those amazing? The fabric choices are fantastic. And there's the back that's ticking. it's just lovely, lovely, lovely. I love everything. It's so sweet. Everything is so well made. She sells all these items on her website, thehumblebumblestitcher.com, so you can grab yourself a little sewing set. There is, she included scissors and this little fob. And I think this was stitched to the bottom of the tray here, and it just came undone. I've been using it, so there's probably dog hair on it. Look at how beautiful this is. So it's laid out like a flag. I mean, it's just incredible. And this stitch piece, and this is mounted to it here. And it's all in this beautifully kind of antique-y looking mirrored tray. And this was in there as well. It's this little goat. Isn't that the sweetest? Oh, it's the top of the goat from the stacks. From Goat Load. That's fantastic. I'm just always overwhelmed with her generosity. It's just so fabulous. And you would think that that would be all, but it wasn't. So let me show you what else. She also sent me this, which is amazing. And apparently it's like a cork tray under here. So it's like a board. So you can stick pins in it. See, there's pins stuck in here. And then there's a little pocket here. And there's a little pocket here with an Uncle Sam. And then another one of her little Liberty doll here. And these picks and a flag, more pins. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. And it can hang. Show you the back because it's amazing. Like, I can't even with this. It's really incredible. So this is going to definitely find a place down in my office, I think. I thought about putting it up here, but I think I'd rather have it somewhere where I can look at it every day. I love this. And she sent a second one that is going to go on the raffle table for the retreat. Just amazing. Then she also sent this sweet little box, and this will be for the raffle table. The retreat, by the way, right now, we don't know. It's just on hold. I'm sure it's going to be, we're really hoping to reschedule, but we just don't know yet. We're gonna, I'm taking the wait and see approach. But this is just beautiful. So someone will go home with this. It's got a scissors in here with another stitched little fob. And I don't want to dump it all out here. And look at the little pinwheel thread keep there. Can you see it? Isn't that the sweetest? Just beautiful. And look at that house. And it's in this, by the way, she shipped this from the UK. It's incredible. This beautiful little glass box. It's precious. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's so amazing. It is just absolutely fantastic. And then there is another tray here that is also for the giveaway table. And it's also got this beautiful, it's a mirrored tray. This one is a little bit bigger, and it's got this beautiful Ort jar as well. I love these. They look like vintage. They're just fantastic. And then I just want to show you piece by piece as well what's in here. So the little framed piece are these little flowers. Isn't that sweet? Oh, I love this. There's more buttons, the same buttons in here. Just sweet as can be. This is so incredible. It's Plum Street, and she made, look at this, so creative, this beautiful little needle roll. It's got a little needle in there, but look at how fantastic that is. What a great idea with those stacks. I would never have thought of this, but it works just fantastic. Her stitching is just phenomenal. Absolutely stunningly beautiful. And then the rest of this is all tied on here. So I'm just going to pick it up and show you. There is another set of scissors here with a little charm. Look at how beautiful. I don't know what pattern this is. It looks like it's a Plum Street, so I'm not going to be able to tell you. Look at that. It's just amazing. And another thread keep. And they're on ribbons that are stitched onto the base here. And then look at this gigantic strawberry. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? And the finishing, Sally's finishing is always phenomenal. But it's just really beautiful. So that is going to get all wrapped back up. And somebody is just going to be really, really lucky to go home with that. And that is like over the top amazing. Thank you so much, Sally. So go check her out at thehumblebumblestitcher.com. All right, well, that's all I have for you. I almost forgot to film an ending. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for the thumbs up, and especially thank you for your comments. I always appreciate it when you take the time to leave a comment. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Farm Girl Loves Goats. I would love for you to join me. I do a lot of stories there, and I like to interact with you guys in between videos there. I hope that y'all stay well. I hope that you stay healthy, and I hope that you stay home. Have a great evening. Bye.